North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, is a country that has been under the leadership of Kim Jong Un since 2011. Kim Jong Un inherited power from his father, Kim Jong Il, and grandfather, Kim Il-sung, who founded the country. While North Korea emphasizes its principles of self-reliance and independence through the Juche ideology, its leadership has faced significant criticism for alleged human rights violations. This exploration delves into the nature of Kim Jong-un's leadership and the human rights concerns that have been raised, providing a comprehensive overview of the issues at hand. The nature of Kim Jong-un's leadership. Kim Jong-un's leadership is characterized by a highly centralized and authoritarian governance structure. As the supreme leader, he holds ultimate authority over the country's political, military, and economic affairs. The Workers' Party of Korea, WPK, serves as the primary instrument of governance, with Kim Jong-un at its helm. His leadership style is often described as a continuation of the legacy of his predecessors, emphasizing strong national defense and self-reliance. North Korea operates under a socialist system with a strong central government. The country is governed by the Workers' Party of Korea, WPK, with Kim Jong-un serving as the supreme leader. The political system is characterized by a high degree of centralization, with decisions often made at the highest levels of government. This centralized control extends to all aspects of society, including the economy, media, and education. First, alleged human rights violations. Restrictions on freedom of speech and information. North Korea is known for its strict control over information and media. The government maintains a monopoly on news and information, with state-run media being the primary source of news for citizens. Access to the Internet is highly restricted, and foreign media is tightly controlled. This environment limits the free flow of information and suppresses dissenting voices. The lack of access to independent information and the suppression of free speech severely restrict the ability of citizens to express their views and access unbiased information. Immediate environment. 2. Limitations on freedom of movement. North Korea imposes significant restrictions on the movement of its citizens. Travel within the country and abroad is tightly controlled, with permits and approvals required for domestic travel. International travel is even more restricted, with only a small number of citizens allowed to travel abroad for official purposes. These restrictions limit the personal freedom of citizens and their ability to seek opportunities outside their immediate environment. 3. Labor rights and forced labor. North Korea has been criticized for its labor practices, including the use of forced labor. Reports indicate that many citizens are required to participate in state-mandated labor projects without adequate compensation or choice. The use of forced labor and the lack of labor rights contribute to a system where workers are not free to choose their employment and may be subject to harsh working conditions. 4. Political repression and prison camps. North Korea is known for its system of political prison camps, where individuals accused of dissent or disloyalty are detained. These camps are notorious for their harsh conditions and human rights abuses, including forced labor, malnutrition, and physical abuse. The existence of these camps and the widespread fear of political repression create an environment where dissent is severely punished, further consolidating the government's control over the population. 5. Food insecurity and economic challenges. North Korea has faced significant economic challenges, including periods of food insecurity. The country's economic policies and international sanctions have contributed to difficulties in ensuring food security for its population. Food insecurity and economic hardships disproportionately affect the most vulnerable segments of the population, exacerbating existing inequalities and hardships. Kim Jong Un's leadership in North Korea is characterized by a highly centralized and authoritarian governance structure. While the country emphasizes its principles of self-reliance and independence, it has faced significant criticism for alleged human rights violations. These violations include restrictions on freedom of speech and information, limitations on freedom of movement, labor rights abuses, political repression, and economic challenges. Understanding the nature of Kim Jong Un's leadership requires a balanced approach, recognizing both the country's achievements and its significant human rights concerns.